Morning, YouTube. Thank you all for checking out the channel. So you're here for what the title is. We're just doing a couple of more miscellaneous parts for the 98. I keep on having to pause and think for a second about the year just because I do so many of the machines, they kind of blend together. But we got our 98 sitting back here looking absolutely amazing. I'll just show you all a quick rundown of what we got going on, what we're going to be kind of doing in this video. And all right, so we're back. It's been a couple days. Since then, I've ordered a few parts. Not a whole bunch. I ordered some brake pads, key switch, a couple little different things. On the off time, I did get some things powder coated and zinc plated. We're going to go over all that here in a minute. But I think we ended with me waiting on some brake pads. Brake pads are going to be here later. So this video isn't going to come out. So I'll do everything and just go over some stuff just to get you all some content out and let you all see where we're going with it. I probably won't have anything else up until a good bit after Christmas just because the brakes won't be here until Christmas week. And Christmas week, I may not physically be present in my town. So right now, you are getting this after Christmas, so it really doesn't matter. So we're just going to take a look at what we have on the table, what I got going, what I've been doing in a couple days, getting things prepared, and we'll go from there. All right, we got plenty of stuff sitting out here on the table. So what we're going to start is I did zinc plate the stuff that I wanted to be olive, back olive. So got the foot pegs olive. I got these from Spencer Clipperton. Got a good bit of the other stuff from Burrow Hudson. So got these plated here. Got the hardware actually done. Keep the hardware shiny. So these things take just a little bit of time because I zinc plate them with the same color green, but then I put a matte clear on it to take that shine off. But I want to leave the hardware shiny. So these are the radiator mounting bolts and plastic tabs. So those are there, and this is the extra one that goes on top that goes up into that area there. We have our park brake holder that's going to be removing the one that I have on here currently that I don't have powdered, and it's going to go on. I did bend it over, so it's going to have a little bit of flex and go back that way, hold the park brake cable in. These are parts for my 92. I decided that I was going to attempt the Super Chrome with the, what is that? Acrylic clear. I think it absolutely looks great, but we're going to run it. But anyways, we'll do that in a different video. We got our shifter here powder coated as well. We've got our master cylinder. It's been taken apart. Everything's been kind of zinc plated to look new. It's just dusty from where I'm powder coating in my shop. Master cylinder is powder coated with a metallic black. All the hardware looks good and great. Got these bolts over here powder coated and all the brass washers. We got our cable, extra gold to match the extra gold here. So that's the rear brake setup. It's going to kind of be on it. Master cylinder, everything is zinc plated as you can see. The one I got from Burrow actually has a really good bowl and cap. So typically I replace these when they're super cloudy and yellow, but this one doesn't look horrible. Everything's vapor blasted. I missed a little piece there, but I'm not going to stress over it. All that looks great. And on there, a couple little extra pieces. This is the chain adjustment there. This is the part that goes into the throttle limiter. I don't need one, but it goes right there. So that's that. This one is for the brake tensioner. That one goes into the brake lever right here. Front calipers, vapor blasted, looks absolutely wonderful. We got the zinc plate on here and the hardware all installed in it. We're waiting on new pads, so once the new pads come, all these will be getting replaced and installed. We have our key switch here, just an aftermarket key with the OEM switch part, the plastic. Got the hardware in there, and it has been powder coated with the olive drab. Got some ODI grips and pieces are in the oven right now. The ends are getting powder coated. We have our voltage regulator with the hardware here. We have carburetors with a new cable and towards delete, but we vapor blasted everything with these and make them look great. Back to pretty much OEM, so we're down to a 25 pilot. The needle is on the middle. We're 1.5 turns out on the air fuel screw. We also have 210 main jets. I think they range on different altitude from 200 to 220. This one is pretty much a 64.5 So I didn't decide to go anything big. So we're going to run the 210s on it. It's got the air box and everything. Oh. Parts in the oven. Let me see. Shout out. So parts in the oven, what we have here, wonderful looking wheels, gold. What we're gonna do is pull those out, double look over them, make sure they're gonna be looking absolutely good, and I got everything covered. I'll probably put a second coat of the gold on there just to make sure I got my coverage absolutely wonderful. And then once I do that, after I let it cool down, they're gonna go back in there for a full cure, then clear coat, and then I'll be able to get these tires mounted back on and get this thing back to where the wheel's on. Not super stressed over doing this super fast, just because I do know that, like I said, I'm waiting on the calipers. Ain't no need to tighten it all down and then have to take it all back off. So the calipers are gonna hold it up for a little bit. And my shocks from my front works from Ben Martin's has been shipped. I'm not sure if they're going to be here before I leave out of town, but it's not going to be really much of a hold up for you all. So we're going to go ahead and get this out there, get the stand up, get this thing on the stand, just let you all see me shoot another coat of color on here, and then put them back in the oven. There we go. Make sure the first coat on the inside goes well. Got a little bit of drippage from the top, but gonna go ahead and just get this on there. KV a little bit too high. Gonna turn it down. You can hear that staticky sound. Haven't moved my ground or changed anything, so it's still the same good ground. But it's only so much you can do with one hand when you're trying to do this and get into these nooks. I'm gonna get it further done and then come back. All right. That's one of the crazy things about it is, okay, so like right here, there's a little light area there I gotta get. But you can see that the golden ticket comes out brown. But after, oh, come on. All right, so we're just taking a look at everything, making sure it's gonna be looking good. I got my gun in my hand, or I got my powder coating device in my hand. So right here, you see that little light spot? We're gonna make sure we just hit it so that there's no light spots. Sometimes I can go over top of it with an LED just to make sure nothing shines or comes through. But the faces of it is the main part that we're gonna be seeing. So we just wanna make sure everything looks good in that aspect. I'm just making sure I got a nice smooth coat in there. I think that looks great. I got a little bit of these little beads down there. We'll see if I can get those out. Sometimes the powder will want to do its own thing. But yeah, I'm just gonna put a little bit more right there. And that just comes from the powder beating up inside of the gun and stuff. So, or if you just, tap this thing on something, like, so that comes out. So every now and then I'll get into powder and stuff, and then I'll look and I got powder all over, little lumps or everything. But okay, back in the oven. We're gonna do a full cure on these, let these get nice and hot, get them cooled down, hit it with I think they recommend the Super Mirror Clear. So I'm gonna hit it with a coat of that, or 2 coats of that, and then see what I feel like afterwards. See how I feel like it's looking. All right, yeah, so we're doing that powder. Man, the freaking beards get long every time you mess around and do something that sticks out. So we got that powder in there. We got the golden ticket right here. It comes out brown. It goes on, and once it cures out, it is like a chrome look to it. Really smooth and consistent. But the package says right here, do a partial cure of 15 minutes at 400 degrees, and then apply the Super Mirror Clear. I have never had luck doing that. It doesn't come out looking right. What I do is the same thing I do with the chrome, any of these kind of colors like that. I do a full cure on it. So it's going to be in at 400 degrees for roughly 25 to 30 minutes to make sure it gets fully cured, gets up to temperature at 400 degrees, and then I let it flow out and kind of overcook it a little. Make sure everything underneath it is cured so it doesn't have any movement, because sometimes if you don't do that, the chrome will look like it's like spiderwebbed or cracked underneath. So we're gonna pull this out here in about 15 minutes, and then I will let it cool and hit it with the Super Mirror Clear that I have. Now I've also used Clear Vision, and I've used their Columbia's Super Wet Durable Clear. I've had the same results. They all come out looking good. Sometimes a slightly different shade. But as long as you're consistent with the build, it shouldn't be a problem. So I try to do all my gold at one time, because trying to go back and do it again, like I've covered everything with 2 good coats, and your flow and your movement's kind of equal. But if you do it differently, you know, I've powdered illusion stuff, and then I'll come back in 2 days and powder a bumper, and it's just slightly a little different. So we're going to get those out a little bit, get them cleared. But the next time you all are going to see them is when they come out of the oven and are completely done. All right, so golden ticket wheels are out of the oven, and they're golden. So these little parts here look pretty decent. I'm not too happy with them. I'm not too upset with them. When you have sharp edges on powder, sometimes it's hard to get it not to pull away. That's why I do the low cure. But these right here look absolutely bomb. So we're gonna get these tires mounted and everything and get them stacked up here. Probably come back to you all when they're back onto the machine and see what it's gonna look like. Also get these caps onto the grips, take a look at those. Yeah, plenty of stuff coming up.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want, and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no, I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything.
Now I'm going to put the second one rear on. It is a bit more challenging. The radial tires are just overall a little bit more tough. Everything back on. Usually it's not too hard to get the tire on the first half, but the second half is pretty challenging at times, so I might have to use my tool. So first half, fine. Second half, we'll see. Nah. So put a little duck bill back on there. Snug it, do a little bit more than snug, just a tight turn. Then what I'll do is use all my weight to kind of push the tire down as I start rotating with this. Sometimes it's easier than others. All right, we're starting. And there we go. A lot easier to just go ahead and use that than to keep on fighting with it. Duck bill should keep it from getting all scratched up. Then we'll just fill it up with air. Here we are, tires are on, hit it with a quick pressure wash. But they are, as expected, beautiful. I'm gonna go ahead and just place the front ones on with some hardware. And I'm gonna go ahead and I think I can tighten down the rears for the most part. Yeah, I got the hubs and all that stuff done. So back onto the machine we go. All right, now it got dark really quick. I mean, it's freaking 5 o'clock and it's pitch black out in West Virginia. But if I jump, it's because my dog comes flying out of the bushes or out of the hillside or something scared me. We got our wheels on and they look great. I mean, I'm crazy impressed. YFZ 450R wheels, radial tires. I'm absolutely fine with them not being OEM. This is going to have some slight upgrades to them. These are the caps, the ends that I did right there. ODI grips, nice little pops on it. So we're going to get a couple of these things off this table installed. And the things that I'm not going to be getting installed, I am going to just put over in the corner, like all the brake system setup stuff. So we're not really mess with that, but I'm going to go ahead and pop this camera up, get things going, and get back on it. All right, we got those little tabs on. What we're going to be doing now is getting the DRW case saver on, along with another side cover that I have here. I already have that inside portion ground off because it kind of sticks out there. So that portion needs to be ground off to where it's flat, not sticking out. This one is just dusty, but it'll clean up nicely once I get it on there. We got a very clean stator and flywheel. We're going to put the new sprocket and bolt and everything on there, get this whole side closed up. Then that way we can get the shifter on and the heel guard. So it's going to be a couple little things up the actual foot peg, a couple little things done right here while we're down here, but it'll get this side completely closed up and we ain't got to worry about it. All right, as I stated, everything looking great, nice and clean in there. No issues with everything. First thing we're going to do is go ahead and get our sprocket open. JT sprockets is what I'm going to be using. Going with a 14. On there, locking washer. And then I did zinc plate the actual nut. This part isn't the shiniest, but that'll be all right. All right, here's a bolt that's been zinc plated, looking great. Got our 32 millimeter. So we'll just thread that on there nice and decent. Because it has a locking tab on there, I don't really go super crazy. I just lock it to get it down there nice and snug. Well, not nice and snug, just tighten it down on there. And then make sure I lock this. It's just always a pain in the butt whenever you try to go change something back here, and then that bolt is a pain to get off. So now we're gonna go ahead and take this back off. This is like the neutral switch or plug or something like that. I don't know if it really does anything, but it's coming off. But it's gonna stay in there. But the DRW case saver uses the existing mounting points. And it's going to save my cases is the plan. So hopefully the chain jumps. It's got a lot of protection and it keeps from chain wipe occurring. Yeah, she's dusty. That's what happens when she sits out in the open. But overall, it's brand new. So it's been used.
I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit and the coffee ain't hit yet. Damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work cause my boss is a jerk and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life cause I don't feel alive and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute. I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning. And this is just the beginning. I need a big change, help me feel like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all. And We all got dreams, we all want things.
Now we got our shifter on there. I'll go ahead and just place the foot peg up just to make sure it looks like it's sitting at a right angle. You don't want, typically you want it just below the Yamaha emblem here. If it's up too high or too low, your shifting angle for your foot's gonna be wrong. So we'll go ahead and get that tightened down and be good to go.
Let's go. Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is my life, my strife, my right to fight, to die.
Gonna just have to adjust it in a little bit because it's touching here, so loosen this up. All right, so we are a little dusty. We gained a couple extra bolts, but overall, side covers on, everything sealed up, olive drab here. Shifter clears everything well. We got a DRW on there. Like I said, it's just dirty. It ain't gonna hurt anything. Chain's dangling. We're gonna go ahead and wrap the chain up through there, get these bolts here onto the back to adjust the chain. But while we're standing here talking about hardware, we're gonna go ahead and put this little piece in there. I mean, fine details, people, fine details. I don't need, and I'm not gonna use a throttle limiter, but why not have one? And this, since we're there. We'll go ahead and get this one in there. I'm going to put a little Loctite on that one just because I don't have the locking nut for it. It's a little bit different of a thread. So a little bit of blue Loctite on there, keep it from rotating and moving out. But I'm going to go ahead and get that in there off screen. All right, we're in there. Nice and smooth. Blue Loctite on there. So put this hardware in there. Going to get this tightened down, get these things. Got a bunch of little things to button up before I keep moving along. But I'm excited where we're heading. We're definitely getting in a better place. All right, we went ahead and put the two pieces of hardware in back there. And we'll just lay our chain up here. This is a stock length chain. I don't think the DRW is going to give us any kind of issues or nothing. The case saver, but you know, we'll figure it out in a minute. Sometimes you never know. You get up in here and just that extra little bit of, okay, so we're good. We should be fine with it. Standard, like I said, chain. It does have a yellow link. I put that yellow link facing in, but I still leave the yellow on the outside. I don't think it's going to hurt anything. And I make sure I put the clip this way, so when it goes through the case saver, through this, if it does catch anything, it's not going to catch and then pop the master link off. So master link is about to be officially on. Then we can do what, tightening this up. Might have to take a link or two out. Look like it's a little bit too long. Because even if I do tighten it all the way up, it's gonna be max tight and it's still got way too much slack in it. So we're gonna go ahead and cut one link out. So we're just gonna grind off the one. Yeah, did that grinding and stuff. Got the master link on, but this is the link out. No flex, no flex. Way too tight. So I'm going to buy a half link. I'm going to order it online. It'll be here after Christmas. But with the full link in there, it was maxed out and you couldn't pull it any further. Something about like with the DRW case saver, when you put that in there, it changes the geometry slightly of the chain, I guess. It makes it a little bit tighter. So we're just going to order that tonight and then move on to the next pieces that we're putting on. All right, after doing a little bit of reading and figuring things out, the mistake is on me. DRW case saver is fine, don't need to be adjusted. I took the case saver off and found out I have the exact same issue that I'm having now. So what it is I have a 40 tooth. So the 40 tooth makes the chain OEM a little bit too long, and then therefore it makes the other one on the side a little bit too short. So I do have a 104 link chain, which is the standard lead chain. I thought something was weird when I had to cut a link out, but if I would have had the extra link in the chain, I probably, and in the wrist sprocket. So I'm either going to decide if I'm going to buy a new chain, because I really don't want to run two master links. I'm either going to buy a new chain along with a new rear sprocket, or I'm just going to go with a like 39 tooth sprocket and see if that'll loosen things up or give me a little bit extra play. So we'll figure it out here in a bit. All right, everyone. So after doing that research and just checking things out, I have a couple new chain varieties coming in the mail. I have a 38 coming in, which is basically 3 teeth down, which is essential, like going up 1 tooth in the front. So if I'm understanding right, going up a tooth in the front and going down gives you more top end, but it takes a little bit away from the speed. Gives you more speed, takes a little bit away from the grunt. So my impression is just that it really isn't going to feel crazily different. It may. So I did order a couple combinations. I have a replacement chain coming in with the standard 104 length. I also have the 38 sprocket to see if it fits with this whole setup. And if I like it, I'll run it. And I also have a 41, which is the factory size tooth. So if I don't like the first setup that I do, I'm going to end up running the 41 with another chain. I could just order another master link and put that link back in there, but we'll decide if I want to do that or not. I'm not really giving a crap about it. I mean, to be honest, the master links hold up very well, so it isn't as if, oh gosh, it's going to be a weak point or anything. But yeah, I'm just going to decide on what I'm going to do with that. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just close this one out here. It's enough right now what I got going on. It is pretty long. I think we're already probably like 20 minutes, I would guess, for the content. So I will be coming back after I get some more parts in, or I'll just jump back in here today. I try to keep this content kind of chopped up so it isn't like a full movie, because it's going to be hard to watch that way. All right, everyone, if you enjoy this kind of content, hit that notification bell, turn on the like. Hit that like button, turn on the notification bell so that when I upload the next videos, you'll be notified and you can follow along with me.